So some of my audience has wanted to learn how to make a rods animation in pencil2d, so I'm going to show you how to do it. So in the description there's a link to a Google Drive thing that lets you download the version of pencil2d that I use, and so I think it's a computer thing only. Anyways, when you open it, it should look something like this. So if you go to edit, preferences, so once you go to preferences, you want to go to the timeline and select this when it's on it. Anyways, to go to the shortcuts, you want to make them all the same as mine. So to like make a new frame, it's H. To make the center view, it's W. To clear frame, it's F. To copy, it's Control C. To cut something, it's the delete key. And I'm just listing the important things that I changed so you can match my keyboard shortcuts. So duplicate a frame is pressing J. Exporting an image is pressing P. The backward slash exports a movie when you're done with an animation. Let's see. So next frame you want to do the right arrow key. The next keyframe you want to make it the greater than symbol or the period key. You want this to be left, and then this the less than symbol or the comma. To toggle on and off the grid, you want to press G for this. Importing the image should be D. Importing sound should be T. Toggle loop, it can be L. That one doesn't really matter for me. Toggle next onion skin, you want it to be S. Toggle previous onion skin is O. Open file is A. Paste is Control V. Layer stop is space, but I don't usually use that. Preferences is Shift P. Preview is, wait, no, that was not important. Redo is Control Y, but it won't work the first time, so I'll explain how to do that later. Remove frame is backspace. Reset rotation is Shift W. Reset view is Alt W. Rotate counterclockwise is Z. Rotate clockwise is R, but that should be already like that for you. Save file as is a / Save file is, never do this. Just don't do it. Saving file can like lead to overwriting the wrong things. Let's see. The bucket tool should be K. The eraser tool should be E. The eyedropper tool should be I. The move tool should be M. The pen tool should be N. The pencil tool should be X. The polyline tool should be Y. The select tool should be V. The undo button should be Control plus Z. None of this stuff is important. Yeah. Alright, now that that's over with, you should have everything matching what I have. You may have noticed that this rectangle doesn't match the one that's currently on YouTube as of making this video, and so you want to double click the camera layer right here and change this to 128.0 by 720, and then click OK. Make sure the left one is the bigger number, otherwise the rectangle will be taller than wide, which is not what you want unless you're like making a YouTube short or something. Anyways, also in that Google Drive link there's another folder that has a bunch of assets I have for rod stuff, and down here you can like select a background. You can double click this and like name it something like background. But if you're like me, I just messed it up for fun and make it background. Just to make things a little more painted. Then you make a new layer. Make this layer -1. Actually, no, let's just make this under layer. It doesn't really matter what you call it as long as it's just something you remember what the layer is supposed to be for. Usually I make the layer more than one under layer, but for this simple animation we're not going to need that. Then you make another bitmap layer for the asset, and then extra layer, and then extra layer 2. The hardest part about making an animation is just deciding what the animation is going to be about in the first place. For me, I came up with the idea for like making train tracky go into a rocket or something. So I'm gonna press D and look for train tracky's asset. If you download all the asset files, there shouldn't be any viruses on your computer. I don't know why there would be. So it takes you to this frame right here. I don't know why it does that, but it takes you to the frame after the one you're importing an image to. Just go to the frame before it and press W so it like shows up. I don't know why it doesn't show up at first if you like don't move the screen or something like that. Anyways, I'm gonna put train tracky over here, and then an extra layer too. I'm gonna like draw some sort of rocket with the pen tool. It doesn't need to be anything super fancy. After all, you're probably new to this whole pencil2d thing. Make this gray, make this red, make this cyan, because why not? Actually, no, I'm gonna make this like light blue. Let's make it lighter. That's a little bit too light. Perfect. And make these red, because why not? Of course, you can draw literally anything, but for this video, I'm just showing you how to like make a character go into a rocket. Something I like to do to avoid mistakes is, okay, so I press H to make a new frame, and then I press O. Then I make the width of this pen tool 11 pixels, because that's what I usually work with, and it fits both the assets. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you want it to look nice from a distance, sometimes it can help to like try to make this perfectly straight. It's probably just my anxiety that makes me irrationally worry about individual pixels, but it shouldn't really be that important. And if you can't draw a straight line like that again, you can just press V and select this tool, get this, Control C, move this a little, Control V, and boom, you have a second eyeball of an exact replica. Then you draw a mouth. If you're trying to make my art style, you can like draw it touching the left eye if the character is facing right, and the right eye if the character is facing left. And yeah. Try to make it like get close to the other eye, but not quite. And then something I do is like draw things right here for later. And if you're like me, if you're trying to mimic my art style, I'd recommend like drawing arms hanging really low when the character is standing, I guess. So once you have all of this, you want to Control C, move back a frame, Control V. Oh shoot, I forgot something. So I just removed the frame over here by pressing backspace. I'm pressing the eyedropper tool to click this and get this shade of gray, and paint bucket all of these tools by pressing K. And I'm really bad with my language today. So train tracky's face should be the same, so you can like distinguish it from the lines that make up her asset a little bit better. But you want to make the limbs the same color as the outline of the asset. I'm gonna draw something in train tracky's hand. Let's draw a ball or something. Make it orange because I like the color orange and how unused it is. Actually, let's draw it. There we go. Alright, and then you go back to the asset layer, and now turn on onion skin, and then press N, J, M. Yeah, I need to turn it on underneath. Move her up like this, just a little bit upward, and then N, J, M on the keyboard, and then N, J, M. Have 4 frames of her going down, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then NJM, make her go back up again, NJM, NJM, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 frames of her going back up again, and then NJM, make her go back down. And because this rocket is on a higher layer than train tracky, she should look like she's going behind it. NJM, NJM, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then NJM, 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 NJM. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the part where we make her go down again. NJM, NJM, 1, 2, 3, 4. NJM. Yeah, just repeat the process until she's completely behind the rocket. I think that's 4 frames. One thing you can do to like make this go like quicker and not have to make her travel as much distance is like erase her arm as she goes behind the rocket, so it looks like she's like going inside of it. And then something I would do here is, so once she's about to like disappear behind the rocket, I press H and like make it a blank frame. So turning off onion skin and then jumping to the start should make it look something like this. Not bad. Now it's time to finally see what these little dots here were for. So eyedropper tool, click that, and then draw her legs. The reason why we have these dots here is so we can consistently remember where the legs are supposed to be, where they're supposed to stem from. Then we go to the next frame, and what I do here is I make the foot stay in the same place, and make the leg be attached to the same spot as train tracky's asset, and like draw a leg going like this. Then go to the next frame. Oh shoot. But before I do all of that, I do sometimes go to every frame where she's at the highest and make the leg perfectly straight instead of slanted to the side, like when the character is standing still. And she's at the top again. And then, okay, then you can go back all the way to like where you were from, and you want to press S to toggle the next onion scan. You'll see why in just a minute. So draw from the dot and make her foot in the same place. Make this leg continue to go forward. Go to the next frame. Make this. That, because my art style is like in a specific way, this should look normal. Oh shoot. And then I draw her leg going like this when she's at her lowest point, and then I make this other leg perfectly straight like this, and then go to the next frame and make her her foot land in this spot that you see with the next onion skin frame thingy, 3 frames ahead of. Yeah, and then you make her other leg like this or something. Then you go to the next frame and do basically what you were doing before, but the legs are swapped positions. Make her leg go forward. I'm not expecting your animation to like look perfectly good at first try, because it took me 5.5 years of practice to like make my animations look as good as they do today. There's some older animations files that can only be opened in pencil2d in that Google Drive thing. There's another folder And there's some pretty early made animations that I had less experience when making, and they look pretty bad, in my opinion. As you can see, okay, there's a foot right there. So the train tracky is now at her lowest point again. I want to like make her like do this. Control Z if you mess up. And draw her leg going straight, and her foot's gonna go right here. Boop. And then make her other leg do this. Yeah, so walk cycles are pretty repetitive and easy to like remember how to do. Apparently it's a rare gift to have, to like be patient with doing the same things over and over again. I have like a gift of being able to do that, and I'm not sure why. But if things ever get boring for you, you could like try to change it up or something. I'm not sure. Try experimenting with new things, I guess. I've been told advice to like try new things. Anyways, enough of that. So as you can see, I don't have to make the walk cycle look perfect when it's like off screen. Oops, I accidentally pressed H. And then move her leg like this. And now you don't have to animate any more leg stuff, so press S and then O. Doesn't look perfectly great, but this is just a simple tutorial. So playing the animation like that. And now to so something I'm going to do with this orange ball is I'm going to duplicate the frame by pressing J. Okay, I did not plan ahead. I don't know. This might take some like trial and error for me. But that's going to happen a lot when you animate. Trial and error. I wish you luck. I'm being patient with that kind of stuff. So I'm going to like make this follow along the path as normal for a while. But then I'm gonna go down a layer and press E to erase this. And onion skin. The onion skin is not really mandatory, but I'm gonna make her arm slightly slanted. And I'm gonna go to the next frame and make her arm at a even more tilted angle. Control Z if you mess up. Control Z. So if you try to do Control Y to redo something, oh, that's weird. It worked. Usually it doesn't, and if it doesn't, you just go to Edit, Redo, and then you can start pressing Control Y to redo more moves. And then make train tracky's arms swing the other way. You'll see what I'm doing in a few minutes. I usually keep legs and arms on separate layers from each other, so I don't have to worry about accidentally erasing both when I only want to erase one. So draw her arm like that. I hope this isn't too difficult for you. Anyways, draw it swinging the other way. Control Z if you mess up. Because even I make mistakes, even with 5.5 years of practice. Erase this. Something you can do is like try to make the arm curve, kind of, if the angle gets too sharp. And go back and erase this. Make her arm go up like that. And then perhaps just make the rest of the frames like this, where her arm is like curved like that. You may have noticed that I don't erase the arm all the way, so I can like know where her arm is supposed to be redrawn. Yeah, so just keep moving along each frame, redo everything. You might have noticed that I've been switching tools a lot to do different tasks. And then you can just start ignoring. Now to that part. So the ball is now no longer following a consistent path. I'm going to turn on onion skin, move this down to only one frame. NJM. So what train tracky has been doing this whole time is like getting ready to throw the ball to show you that things are supposed to take curved paths like this. I don't know if you can see that very well, but things taking curved paths can like make animation look better. Like a whole lot better. My animations used to look terrible because of the lack of curved paths. And yeah, you can play that back. It's a little bit choppy, but it is the first time I'm doing a tutorial like this, so it doesn't look too special, and I'm not trying to like take too long and make this video like an eternity. So once train tracky is inside the rocket, you can like press eraser, and then because of that thing I told you to select earlier in the preferences, erasing nothing in a frame immediately duplicates it to be over here. And now I'm gonna select this by pressing V and then press M to squash and stretch. That's another principle of animation right there. And squash and stretch just a little bit more, so it's like easing in and out. And then, okay, so I'm gonna go back to this frame, Control C without selecting anything, so the whole frame is copied, and press H, and then I'm gonna duplicate this, press J. Move that frame over there, and then press J. By the way, if you have M selected, never do anything with the frames down here if this is selected, because bad things happen. Like you lose progress and stuff, which is why I always press N before moving to another frame. Anyways, I'm going to turn on onion skin by pressing O. And then I'm gonna select this, move it up, then NJM, move it up again, NJM. As you can see, the gaps get bigger every time because the rocket is accelerating at accelerating, I think. NJM, 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 boom. And press H, and then go to some frame over here, press H again, so the animation like has a blank canvas for like viewers have time to process what just happened. And yeah, there's your animation. I hope this tutorial wasn't too hard to follow, but it's not over quite yet because I'm going to show you like how to save stuff. So by pressing / you can like go to some files and save it. The reason why this is important is, okay, let me type something. My brain can't multitask. Just give the file a name that you'll remember which animation this was, and then click save. And now you can reopen this animation later. I was looking to find where it was. You can reopen this animation later and have like the pencil2d equivalent of Adobe Animate FLA. So you can like edit it later, like pressing F right here. Do whatever you feel like. And then pressing the / lets you export the animation into a movie. I'm not really sure how to explain what that's supposed to mean to someone who doesn't know. Rocket and animation. Then click save, and then click OK. And no. And you can open it if you want, but then if you want to post it on YouTube, you can just go over here, go to your YouTube studio, and then upload it from there. And yeah, I think that's most everything I can show you. But there's still more. You can like go over here, make a new sound layer, and like add some sort of sound effect of the rocket blasting off or train trackies walking. Yeah. I recommend while animating it, you can like frequently save it. And then click save. It says, do you want to replace this? You gotta make sure you're replacing the right file. If you're working on the rocket animation, you need to replace the rocket animation and not the other, not some other file, so you don't overwrite it. And you click yes. And then it saves your progress by overwriting the old one. And yeah. Something you could do is you could go to like some sort of frame over here and then press P to like, then you can browse and TN stands for a thumbnail. I usually put the letters TN in a image that's going to be a thumbnail for something. Click OK. But another thing you could do is like make a new frame. Duplicate this. What am I doing? So move train tracky over here for a better looking thumbnail. Then do something I do a lot where Control C, make a new frame, and then Control C, press F to empty that frame, and then Control V to paste it down here. Then Control C, F, and V. Okay, that did nothing because there's nothing on that layer, so I didn't really need to do that on that layer. Then Control C, H, and Control V. And then now that everything's on the same layer, everything gets bigger, unlike before. And then Control W like resets the view. Having having the windows be like this, like capture the exact rectangle, can help so you can know what it will look like. I don't know how to describe this very well. Like I said, I'm not very good with my choice of words sometimes, but you will see what all the viewers will see, and only what the viewers will see in the final video if you have everything outside the frame blocked, because drawing something over here won't show up in the final animation. Anyways, you can go to another layer, write something. basics, and then Control P and wait, not Control, just P, and then just press the P key, I guess. And then you can like make a different thumbnail. Okay, now I think I've shown everything. I guess if you still want to learn more, I can show more tutorials in the future, but that's gonna be it for now. Anyways, thanks for watching if you did, and bye.